In this video, I'm going to share with you if we move to a virtual learning environment where you want to connect with your students during a certain time, or if you need to connect for meetings and with other teachers, these are some great resources that you can use. So the first one I'm going to share with you is Zoom, and then I'm going to also share with you Google Hangouts, and there's some other ones out there too, but we'll just keep it short to these. So what Zoom is, right now they're letting you record longer than a 40-minute period if you want to do that. The first thing is going to Zoom and getting set up. I've added it into the spreadsheet here. I'm just waiting to hear back on district access. So that should be not a problem. The videos for everything that I'm recording are on here too. So this is going to be for you to use. So once I get into Zoom, you'll get your account set up and you're going to see that you have your own personal meeting ID and link. And then if you want to host a meeting, you can decide if you want to do with video off, video on, screen share only. So you can share your screen, you can talk about things together. If I say I want to do with video on, I can get started with that as well. So let me go into here and share with you. These are great tutorials and these will be on there too. You can turn chat settings off, which is great, especially if you do decide to host mini sessions with your kids, if they are available to do that, or you can decide that only you can add chat on there too. So it's a little bit different than Google Hangouts, which I'll show you that in a moment, but super simple to use. You can set it up so that way you can schedule it into Google Classroom. You basically are going to get a link that you share with the other people that you want to have your call with. You can draw and type, you can share your screen. Here's a whiteboard that you can use to annotate and circle things. And you can even go into breakout rooms, which is quite something, which is really great to use if you want to split kids into groups. I don't know if we'll get to that point, but at least it's an option right now. So when you're ready to get started, we'll go into Zoom here. And I'm going to go ahead and open Zoom. Once I get Zoom to load up here, you'll notice that I have a screen that pops up. So here I am through Zoom, and I would say join with computer audio. And then as I'm going through here, move this up over a little bit. Usually when you're having other people talk in Zoom, you want to mute yourself. So now you can't hear me, of course. That way it allows for only the instructor, whoever's joining it, to talk. So if your participants or parents are joining, ask them to mute themselves while you're talking, and then when they have something to share, they can. You can invite people directly through here. So I could go right through Gmail. I could give them a link or an invitation, etc., to get on there. This is if I want to share my screen. So if I want to share my screen, I can decide what am I sharing. I can decide if I want to share just a whiteboard that I'm drawing on, something on my iPhone or iPad. So here's my other tabs I have open. So you can see I've got a lot of things to select and share from. Here's the chat feature that comes over on the right. So right now I didn't change those settings, so anyone can be typing messages while the meeting's going on. And the best part about this, so if you have kids, of course, you know that they have lots of other things going on right now. You can record, even if you do hold a small session with students, you can record that meeting and then they can watch it later on. So it's really an awesome thing to use. You can have many participants in there right now. They've upgraded for people too. And then when you're done, you just say end meeting, and we end meeting for all, and then you can close it out, and then it's closed out then. I would highly suggest, this just came out from Info Ohio, they are offering, if this is something you want to learn about, tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you click on this link, I'll forward this email out, of course, and you can learn about using Zoom for teaching. And then on Friday, they're having another Zoom meeting, so you can learn about getting started with it, and that's at 1 o'clock. So I will share this out, but this is great information, more than I'm probably giving you right now, and that's thanks to Info Ohio. All right, now the other one that I want to share with you is Google Hangouts. So we're familiar with this, and this may be a better option for some of you as well. So let's say on the 24th, you want to just sign your kids up and say, hey, let's meet at, 12 o'clock that day, just for an intro and how is everyone doing. So I go into my calendar, I'm going to double click to add an event. And once I add my event, I'm going to give it a title, welcome, and I would put in the time, of course, that I would want this meeting to take place. So I could, of course, say 12 o'clock or anytime. Notice here where the video is, there's nothing there. So I'm going to add conferencing and I'm going to add Hangouts Meet. And it's going to give me a specific link here. So now it's giving me that. So after I put in my time, all those things, if this is a meeting with just adult teachers or, adults and parents, you can add them directly through the guests here and invite them. So that way, then you don't have to send us a link. So you could do it that way. I could put in anyone that I would want to put in there. Or I can just leave it as is if this is for my students and say save. And then once I go in here, once I click on that, I'm going to say join Hangouts Meet. You'll notice over here to the right, there's a copy button. So I would copy that conference link. And then in my Google Classroom, I could go right into my stream and say, okay, here we go. I'm going to just paste that link into my Google Classroom and give them some info and say, welcome, let's connect. Or I could post it as classwork so that way they get a notification. Either way that you want to do that. And then they would click on the link from their computer as well. And then you could have a virtual hangout with them. So I could just paste that link there. I could add other documents to it if I want them to, go to a specific, video or something along that line. So those are some ways that you can connect with students. There are other ones out there called, WebEx, and there's one called Adobe Connect. But please let me know if you're interested in doing this or having troubles, and I'm very, very happy to help. Hoping you're all doing well and try not to be overwhelmed. These are just resources for you and not necessarily all the things you have to do. So please keep that in mind as you sort through all these things. My job is just to make sure that there's these resources available to you and share them out. So please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.